Welcome, everyone, to episode 24 of the Golden Squeeze podcast. We have a lot to cover in this week's edition. We got Raw, we got SmackDown, we got NXT, but we are going to start with Raw. And it was an interesting episode, which kicked off with the Ring General cutting a promo, which was eventually interrupted by both Drew McIntyre and the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest. It was a good promo from Gunther. He's impassioned. He's a pretty good promo for a man who does not have English as his first language. So good on him. And then we got who interfered first? Was it or who came
Priest.
in first? Okay, Priest comes in first, and he had a couple good one-liners, and Drew McIntyre came in second. I think that they all did a decent job in this promo. I thought that was a pretty good way to kick off the show. But what were your thoughts on the opening segment?
First of all, if I'm ever in need of an introduction, I'm calling Ludwig Kaiser. Oh, that was phenomenal.
It was.
That was great.
I hope that whenever Tiffy walks in the front door, that's how he introduces her.
Yes. And I did, and I don't know if it was just if he was adjusting his shirt or if it's because most of the time when he's not in wrestling gear, he's wearing a tie. But I feel like afterwards he went to do a tie adjustment, realized there was no tie there. They just acted like he was fixing the collar of his shirt. I thought that was well played. I thought this was good. What brought out Priest was Gunther was trying to call him out about essentially him cheaply winning or getting the title via cash in. I liked how Priest rightly brought up, I do earn that shot via winning a ladder match to get said briefcase, just like many before me have done. Correct?
No.
Valid. And I liked part where I don't know how this business works, and Gunther said, "Yeah, you could teach me." Or he's like, "Do I need to teach you how this business works?" He's like, "Hey, you teach me something about business. I'm not a businessman." He's like, "But I've yet to find anybody that can teach me anything between these ropes." I thought that was a great line.
Yeah. They all did a good job setting up feuds. We got Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest at Clash of the Castle. That should be a good one. Still don't know when it comes time for predictions who I'm going to pick. We'll see what happens in the next coming weeks. It's a tough one.
It's a good problem for him to have.
Yeah, he's home, but there's just no way that CM Punk does not interfere in that match. Question is, does CM Punk interfere so that Drew can win the title so that when he comes back, he can get the title from Drew? Now that I'm thinking about it, now I got they're spinning up here. I'm spinning up here. I think that's what might happen. We'll see if that's going to be my prediction later on. Not sure. We got how long until Clash of the Castle? 2 weeks.
Yes.
June 16th, I think.
Yeah, June 15th, I think.
Okay, June 15th. All right, 2 weeks.
Whatever's a Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
I love how the first thing out of McIntyre's mouth was about CM Punk and not the other two in the ring.
He's obsessed.
But
he is obsessed.
Actually, as soon as I said that, I feel like he may have said, "Let's get this out of the way or else they're not going to shut up." I guess he was doing that before the crowd could start chanting CM Punk, possibly. Maybe that's why he did that.
Maybe.
But it was still awesome. And did you see what Drew McIntyre put on social media about Damian Priest promos?
No.
He said every one of Damian Priest promos, and it was an old promo Jack Swagger did on SmackDown. It was good, man.
Oh,
you need to go and check it out.
He's still at AEW, right?
I believe, but I don't. I don't remember seeing him, because I'll check the results and keep up with it that way. I don't remember seeing Hager's name on there recently, so I don't know if he's hurt or what the deal is. But as far as I know, yes, he is still signed with the company.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of two guys signed with the company, Braun Strowman versus Jay McDonough, probably the worst segue ever. I don't care. I've always been a Braun fan. He's there's something about Braun. Vince McMahon loved guys who were big. He liked them big burly men. And there's a reason why he liked them, because he knows that fans and kids like the big guys. And I'm a big kid at heart, so I like Braun. I like to see him do superhuman feats of strength. I like to see him toss around human beings. I like to see people doing things that I couldn't ever dream of doing. And that's what he did against JD McDonough. He tossed him around like a rag doll, which is always fun to see. I like that they're making Braun more prominent in the show, because this was not his only appearance in the show. He also made an appearance at the very end during the ladder match. So he was in 2 segments, which is a good thing. I think the more Braun, the better, especially if they use
some backstage stuff too throughout the night.
Yeah, as long as they don't go to Gallus levels of Braun Strowman presentation, then I think that we're good.
I just wonder what they're gonna do with him this time, because they absolutely did. Did he have heat on him last time? I feel like something happened backstage. A
lot of stuff happened.
Okay,
he was habitually late, apparently. And
that's preposterous. He just, his flights were delayed. That is not his fault. Or his bus broke down, or his rental vehicle was delayed. One of the 3.
Busy in the streets giving people these hands.
Yes.
But man. No, he was late, and people thought he wasn't taking the business seriously. So that's what led to him ultimately getting removed from the product.
He did Strongman previously, right?
That's where he got his start. Yep, that's where they found him. Adam Scherr.
Yeah. All right.
Strongman competitor. I want to see him versus Mark Henry do feats of strength. That would be fun.
Dude, man, those I saw that clip again of Henry just effortlessly putting up the that special weight at the Arnold event.
Yeah,
the Apollo something, or
it's something inch dumbbell, where it's like, you're talking about like the dumbbell where it's like that big.
Oh no, not that one. I'm talking about like the like was it the clean and jerk or whatever?
Oh, okay, yeah,
that one where like some of these other super strong guys, like they had trouble even getting a grip on the thing and like having to, but he did it twice, I think, and not without much effort.
He's strong.
I say without much effort. You know what I'm getting at. Compared to the other, he was the only one who I think who even really got a clean grip on it, much less completed the lift.
And I don't know if this is any coincidence, but Mr. Henry's contract expired on Friday, which coincides with a Mark Henry segment on SmackDown. So might we see some sort of role with Mark Henry coming back to the WWE from AEW?
I didn't know his contract expired.
He was on the Busted Open podcast saying that his contract will be up on this weekend. And I just find that just odd that they mimic a Mark Henry segment. He goes off and says that his contract is up and he will likely not be back with the company. Coincidence?
All right,
I don't know.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah.
That's
heard it from him on his podcast, on the Busted Open podcast, which he frequents. So we will see what happens with that, because I would love to see just the two of them. They don't even need to wrestle. I just want to see them doing freakishly human things. That would be fun. But overall, I'm always going to like Strowman. Match wasn't all that great. I mean, it is what it is.
People were griping about the length of it. I mean, if it was just JD McDonough not in the most featured faction on Monday Night Raw, yes, I would see the gripe there, but you have to make them look, even though they have not been doing a good job of this in terms of wins, losses, besides Priest and Ripley when she's there. You've got to make them look like a threat to a degree.
I don't know, because
I have no problem with that. That's old school, just good David versus Goliath wrestling, chopping down the tree, taking out the leg. I've got no issue with that. Like I said, because of what faction he's part of, I have no problem with that.
But I think there's an argument to be made that the reason why there's a rift in that faction is because of guys like McDonough not being able to do certain things. So, I don't know. Let him get his ass beat really quickly, and then that can further the disillusion of the faction.
I
don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
But I see what you're saying too. I mean,
yeah.
There's an argument to be made either way. I personally didn't have an issue with it. Maybe that's because I recognize that JD McDonough is a great wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, that guy at least currently in WWE, some of the bumps that guy takes, good God. Like that, wasn't that an RKO he took off the top of the cage at War Games?
War Games, yeah.
That was
right from Randall, yeah.
That was wow. That was
Speaking
good.
Of bumps, off topic, did you see Edge break his leg?
I did. And when I saw what the injury was and like clicking on the video, I actually was envisioning it being just a lot more catastrophic than it ended up being. Like, I mean, visually. I mean, obviously I hate that he broke his leg. But and then when
how
I
did
saw
he mess up so badly,
dude, I don't know.
No rotation. He just literally just went straight down.
Yeah, I don't know. I noticed that too. And then when I saw that he was going straight down, I just thought this was going to be one of those leg goes from vertical to horizontal, and I thought it was going to be but I saw him was it on one of his social medias where he gave an update, and the way he was presenting it made it seem like, okay, well, he's fully expecting to make a full recovery from this. So but still, when I saw where it was from on top of the cage, like, this is going to be, but it didn't look, at least all the clips I've seen, didn't look that bad. So,
well, he needs to not be jumping off structures at his age. He's too old for that.
Yeah, man. But I'm with you. It's like something. I don't know if he realized something right as he jumped and was trying to change on the fly or what. But yeah, that was for a guy who's been around as long as him. That was very, very odd.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. But I digress, and we move on to the next match.
Strowman won, by the way.
Strowman did win. I don't think that anybody needed to have us tell them that Strowman was going to win that match.
But I guess we need to go in a little bit of detail considering the shenanigans that played out later. So after the match, McDonough hit Braun in the back with a chair, and Braun just turned around and tried to get McDonough, who scurried away, and then that led to the rest of the show. Braun looking for McDonough and McDonough hiding from Braun.
He finds him eventually, or does he?
What was next?
Next was Ricochet versus the Mad Dragon, with a little bit of interference from someone you wouldn't expect, or someone who you absolutely would expect, Braun Breaker. But he was supposed to be suspended, you say to us.
Exactly. What was he doing?
How did he get in? How is he not in jail right now for trespass?
Exactly. Well, again, if Tony D'Angelo can kidnap and talk about murdering people on live TV, I guess Braun can make an appearance after being suspended.
Exactly. And here's one thing I'll say about this match. It was great.
Oh, dude. I could watch those guys wrestle every night.
Yeah, you know, else's contract is coming to an end.
Do what?
You know who else's contract is coming to an end?
Was it? Is it sometime this month?
Yeah, for Ricochet. His contract is ending. Will he stay or will he go now?
What?
His fiance's here.
No, I was about to ask. What's her? I'm assuming they're on contracts as well. How is there any update on how much time she has left on hers with WWE?
No clue.
Because you
No
know
clue.
AEW would love to scoop her up too if hers is anywhere close to the end.
But you know what she is? A huge WWE fan. That might give them the leg up. That that's the dream job, the job that she wanted because she loves WWE.
I also know huge WWE fans who are bigger fans of the almighty dollar. So,
they'll pay her. They need her. They don't need her, but they want her. I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
she's very popular.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not someone you just want to let go. Fans love her. I love her. Ricochet loves her. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But good match. I was wondering how they were going to try to weasel their way out of having a winner. Even though I should have suspected that Braun was going to interfere or come into the match. But I'm glad that it was a no contest because Ricochet just takes so many losses. And the Mad Dragon, he just recently took a loss. He doesn't need to take any losses. So they got to find a way.
Yeah. Well, again, I could go on about that as much as I did about the way Gunther lost at Mania, but I just...
Oh, you didn't like that?
God, dude, I hope if I'm ever booked, I get to Hulk up and beat Roman Reigns. That'd be awesome.
But, I mean, everyone hulks up and beats Reigns. Look at Cody. Only thing it was missing was Cody going like this.
That's what was missing from Sammy, and I thought he was about to do it with all the other convulsing going on the ground.
Yeah, that was weird that they made that choice, but man, they did what they did. Yeah. Got to move past it. That was almost 2.5 months ago. It's over. And 2 months ago.
And if that ever happens again, I'm going to turn off that TV for a solid segment before turning it back on.
Who's that one guy, one of our comment section, who said that if Becky loses, he's not going to watch ever again?
No. I think he said for 2 months.
For 2 months.
Yeah. What'd you say? See you in 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But hey, I like the fact that he acknowledged immediately, hey, I may be gone, but I'm coming right back.
And I can guarantee you he ain't gone.
No, he's not. We can't leave. We just can't.
No, even if we wanted to. But anyways, Braun, man, he looks good. He looks good. My biggest issue is now there's going to be 2 Brauns. And I think that they're starting to call him Breaker a lot more. Or maybe I'm imagining this, but having Braun Strowman and Braun Breaker, like they couldn't have thought of different names. They didn't see him coming down the pipeline and having an issue with, oh, these guys have the same name.
They're spelled differently, Josh. Come on.
Fine. One's Braun and one's Braun.
Yeah. It's like on was it on Joe Dirt when he like Joe Dirte? And they're like, hey, don't try to church that up, Joe Dirt. You're gonna put one of those little squiggly things on the E.
Yeah. Call him that. Brune. Brune Breaker. He'll join Imperium and be Brune. I like that.
Yes.
Brune Breaker.
Oh, that was good. I've just got a feeling, though, in terms of Ricochet, it's going to be more of the same. They're probably going to have him in the triple. I think this is leading to a triple threat match, and it's going to. I think Ricochet is going to end up eating the pin.
Might be the first ever triple threat squash. The way that they've been booking Braun, he comes and spears them both, and the triple threat ends in under a minute.
Man, and I'm about to look it up, but I'm pretty sure Dragunov and Breaker fought at least once in NXT. It was like a full-length match, so I doubt they would go the squash route just because there's recent enough history there of like a good match.
Recent enough history from something that 8 people watch.
Well,
8 terrible people watch. These same people that cheer Josh Briggs watch NXT.
You leave poor Josh Briggs alone.
I won't, not until he quits.
Let's see. Dragunov. Yep, Ilya Dragunov versus Braun Breaker, #1 contenders match. Ilya Dragunov topples Braun Breaker, so Dragunov has beaten Braun Breaker.
I can guarantee you they do not care about that. That'll never get mentioned. You could probably go on the network right now and it's not even there. Like it never happened.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Anyways, but I've got a feeling though, man, unless they give Ricochet some sort of push towards the Intercontinental title this summer, I see him jumping ship.
Yeah, you can go have some more dance matches with Will Ospreay over in AEW.
Hey, I know
they can no-sell each other for 30 minutes.
And hey, if that's what he wants to do, and they'll eat that up. And hey, in those kind of matches, they'll be great matches. He'll be utilized. But that's a good point though, because if it's going against Ospreay or one of those guys, he's going to lose. I don't see them booking Will Ospreay to lose anytime soon.
Yeah, that's why I got 3 new letters for you. T, N, A.
No, maybe so. But I liked this match until, it stopped being a match and was Breaker wrecking house. That was fun, but I think we saw that coming from a mile away. But
I'm still happy with it. Like I said.
Oh yeah.
How do you end that match if you don't do that?
No, agreed. No, that was fine.
Yeah.
What was next?
Next was Karrion Kross trying to recruit Xavier Woods and an interesting person to try to recruit. A man who's part of the New Day through and through, been there for a while now. But it's ended up being the Creed brothers versus the Authors of Pain. Just waiting for the Creed brothers to help Chad Gable as he destroys Otis and Akira Tozawa. Waiting for that day to happen. That would be a much better stable than what he currently has. Not that I have any problem with Otis or Tozawa or the girl, but
the girl Maxine.
Yeah, the Creed brothers just make more sense to me.
No, especially with this new character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Creed brothers are good. They're good.
Yeah,
good tag team. But I'm glad because they're presenting Authors of Pain well right now. And no, they're going to be the tag champs soon. On Raw. I mean,
you heard it here first, fans. Wade says that AOP, along with Ellering, will be the tag team champions.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and say
NXT tag team champions.
No, dude, I don't know why they did that nonsense. But no, I think if it's not as soon as Clash at the Castle, definitely by Money in the Bank.
Wow.
They'll be tag team champs.
You're saying quickly they'll be tag team champs. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And dude, Kross is a natural on the mic. That segment was great.
Yeah, he's good.
And dude, I just don't see how they blew that with him the first time. He's got a great look. And he's got the old school good-looking valet with him who happens to be his wife. I just don't that just has, to me, like Vince McMahon just like salivating when you see a guy like that who's good on the mic. And I don't understand how I don't see how he blew that one. I just don't.
He needed hair. He's like Samson from the Bible. His strength comes from his hair. So he was bald and he stunk. He took a break, came back with hair, and now he's rejuvenated.
Remember that helmet they gave him when he came to the main roster? Or the iron mask, whatever that was.
Yeah, he looked like an idiot. That's what they do. They make people look like idiots. Take T-Bar.
Dude, that was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'll be interested. I'll be very interested to see what happens with that. And yeah, so but what was next?
Next was Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser intensifying their rivalry.
Yeah. With a possible appearance by Alexa Bliss in gorilla position when Sheamus was going to the back.
Yeah, she was just watching. Her career's over. She's done.
Stop. Don't. No, that will not be tolerated. we do not speak that way of her on this podcast.
I saw her in gorilla with her tear in her eye, and I saw the words goodbye being mouthed. I think she was speaking directly to you, actually, and you missed it. So
we
hope it's not too late.
Yeah, well, God, she's such a great heel wrestler. Oh man. We'll see, but she's passionate about that whole Fiend thing and doing what she perceives as right by Bray Wyatt. So we'll see what happens. So
yeah, we shall see.
And if you haven't, I know we're jumping all over the place here, but if you haven't seen the latest Clue, apparently some of these QR codes have journal entries. Have you seen? I saw that for the first time the other day.
Mm-mm.
And if you look at the first letter, it's like kind of written like a poem or something. If you look at like the first letter of each one, and then it has like an X, I think a V, and then an I and an I towards the end. It's potentially looking like, I think it reads out to be essentially June 17th, which is the Monday after Clash at the Castle. So that so far has been kind of like the most direct in terms of an actual time thing. But dude, I like I don't know if you've seen this stuff with the Fiend's therapist who like was the missing person, and then the latest QR code was the video of her saying, "Hey, I'm fine. I know a lot of people thought I was gone, but I'm okay." Something like he didn't hurt me, like he let me go or something. But it was good, man. It was creepy. It was good. So, and then the journal entry thing, that as of right now is the biggest clue we've seen so far. But and I know we're jumping all over the place, but it
say what year?
No, that they did not. So that they did not. But
June 17th, 2032.
Yeah. But man, I think Kaiser and Sheamus, that'll be a good match.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And I'm assuming with the way they've been booking him that they're gonna, or I mean that they're kind of building him up now, and I'm guessing they're gonna put Kaiser over. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, obviously we'll see, but you never know what they're going to do. But I hear that they're a lot more set in their mindsets as opposed to with Vince, who would just make decisions
on the fly.
Yeah, so we'll see. But next up was Lyra Valkyria versus Kyrie Irving, and just kidding, Kyrie Sane, and yeah, they went out there. They had a decent match.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're great. I love
yeah,
the Pirate Princess. She's great.
she is. She is no
So is
real.
Valkyria.
She came from NXT, so she's decent. But you know, they did a good job. They did a good job. It was a good match. We just need Damage Control to completely break up. Then I'll be content.
Yeah, something. Well, and I think we've talked about this before. I don't like all the losses they're taking, but it appears with the backstage segment afterwards with Io Sky that it's boiling. It's coming to a boiling point. She was throwing furniture, getting mad, and stormed off. And I'm just wondering if they're going to incorporate, if they're just going to completely break up, or if they're going to bring in somebody new, or what's going to happen with that. But
yeah.
Anyways, oh gosh, I think we're losing Josh, y'all. He's
I'm
fading.
here. I'm here.
He's
I'm
fading.
here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
He's going to start talking random nonsense like last time when he was getting sleepy.
Maybe. Only if you're lucky. But you know, I'm cool. You know, what else is cool? Rey Mysterio versus Carlito.
That was a good match.
He's cool. Yeah. Man, is he much bigger than he was during his first run, though. He's like twice the size of 2004 Carlito.
Dude, I think since he's come back, he's lost some weight.
But he's just big. He's big.
Oh, no. I know that.
I'm not calling him fat.
No. But, I mean, I can tell that, like, it looks to me like he's toned up a little bit more. Like, since, like, even within, like, the past month or two. And
yeah.
But no, it was a good match. And who interfered first? Was it Balor that tried helping?
Yeah.
Okay. So Balor came out and then still didn't work. And I wonder if Ray, because did you notice after the 619, he didn't do his usual frog splash from the ropes. He did like a modified splash from the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he doesn't want to use that move as much anymore, or because of recent injuries, but anyways, it's definitely noticeable when a guy's got a move as popular as his that or multiple moves that the 619 leads to the splash. And anyways, either way, he got the win. But then when they tried to beat him down, Damian Priest came and cleaned house, which is great. And I believe he stood tall. And did they announce Priest versus Ray for next week on Raw?
I must have missed that. Did they?
I think they may have. And if so, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and air some grievances that I have in relation to Rey Mysterio. I like Rey Mysterio. But he has the worst finishing move in the history of the WWE.
Whoa, okay.
Or I guess maybe is a 619 a finisher or a signature?
I think it's been used as a finisher. I'm sure he's used it to pin folks before, but I think it's usually the 619 leads to the splash.
And let me rephrase, I guess, the adjective I use here. I said worst. I'm going to change it to most unrealistic.
Why? Because they happen to fall the ropes just where they need to.
Every single time. They just happen to fall. They're never to the left. They're never to the right. They're always right smack dab in the center of those ropes. and then they get paralyzed momentarily for like 15 seconds as they know Ray's one of the most popular wrestlers ever. Everyone's seen Ray's matches, or at least a nice handful of them.
He's a fantastic wrestler too.
It was that and Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music. These moves always bothered me because Shawn Michaels always tuned up the band. If I'm on the ground and I hear someone stomping, why am I getting up and letting myself get kicked in the face?
Because
How little scouting do they do?
They were groggy and they were
film.
usually in a state of confusion by the time they turned around and took said Sweet Chin Music. Go back and look. Most of the time when they take that move, they're doing one of these. Watch. Go
100% they're doing that, but that doesn't mean
so
they
how
can't hear.
They would assume it's the crowd making noise, not Shawn Michaels.
When I hear a foot stomping on the ground, I'm just rolling out of the ring. Just like if I'm Rey Mysterio, if I find myself draped over the bottom rope, I'm undraping myself off the bottom rope.
But they're in a state of confusion again.
Oh, where am I? Oh,
yes.
Ray.
Go look at Bradshaw when he took it.
I literally think that they should have it on the live broadcast. They should put like the little stars going around their head as they're draped over, like in cartoons.
A couple birds.
Yeah, just tweeting by my ear. That's the only way that becomes believable. All right, like I said, I digress. Mysterio gets the win against Carlito. They are adding some fuel to this rift. I don't even know if you can call Carlito there being a rift. Since he's not really in the Judgment Day, but you know he's around. He wants to be. Ray wants him to. I'm sorry, not Ray. Dominic wants him to be. So there are people there advocating for him. But it was a decent match for guys who hadn't wrestled with each other since 2004.
Yeah,
20 years they last wrestled against each other. That's a long time.
Yeah,
a long time.
And they had at one point. They had a backstage thing where Damian Priest brought up the fact about Liv Morgan being with them or them hanging around with her. That got brought up. And then he asked Dom if he's talked to Rhea. And he's like, yeah, I talked to Mommy. And I, explained to her that I was, trying to keep her from winning or whatever, and like said everything was cool. But then at one point, while Balor was not looking at Priest, he made a comment and shot him a look directly. Priest did Balor. So it's all very soon coming to a head.
Yeah. Very soon. You know what else is coming to a head here pretty soon? The dissolution of the Alpha Academy. When are we going to get Otis to snap on Chad Gable? When's it going to happen? I thought naively that this was the week, but it wasn't. But it's close. It is close. His treatment of Maxine cannot continue while Otis is still around. Keep in mind, Chad Gable, great wrestler. You know this is a great wrestler in his own right? Amateur wrestler. Otis is a very good amateur wrestler as well. So, we have weight classes for a reason. He should be able to devour Chad Gable since they both have similar wrestling prowess. But that's just using logic, and that's probably not going to happen. We need less logic. But it was Otis versus Big Bronson Reed. And ultimately, from a match perspective, who even won the match? Was it a DQ?
No. Big Bronson got the splash.
Yes. Okay.
Same thing. Otis was gearing up for the worm, started vibrating, and then Chad Gable got mad. It was like getting him to stop, and I believe that sequence caused a distraction, and then Bronson ended up hitting was it the tsunami? Is that what he calls that? His finisher? Yeah.
If it isn't Goldilocks and her 3 brain cells.
Oh, dude, that was wonderful.
Oh
that was
man.
great. And um, so yeah, was this right after the match that they had that segment with all of them in the ring, or did they come back out later?
No, it was
When he took the belt out.
after.
It was right after the match?
I thought it was after.
Okay. Because I didn't think Tozawa and Maxine were
After.
ringside for Otis's match. I thought it was just Gable that brought him down.
Yeah, after the match. Yeah, it was after the match.
Okay.
So after the match, Gable called them down in the ring, told them to come down. So they were not at ringside. They were called back after the match.
When he took that belt off, he told him to grab the ropes. And he told the best, though, was when he said, this is going to hurt you a lot more. Or this is going to hurt me a lot more than it hurts you.
It's funny because this was like 1999 WWE. That belt might have actually gotten used on a woman.
Yeah.
He might have hit Maxine. He might have. But he didn't have to.
Yeah, Maxine stopped Gable from giving Otis his lashings.
Yeah.
And then before he was going to use the belt on Otis, finally, then first he told Maxine to get the hell out of his ring, and then he was going to hit him, and then that's when Sammy's music hit, and he came down, and that feud is not over. I'm telling you, I could very well see that being a Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah, and I've told you before. I think that it's going to end here soon, so that Gable can fight Otis at another event.
Did you see Gable's contract is coming to an end this summer?
Interesting.
So,
perfect timing for him to take the pin.
Yeah. I think the Creed brothers are going to join him and help him win the title. That's my prediction. I think
you heard it here first.
I think Gable is going to be the Intercontinental Champion sometime before summer's end, with the help of the Creed brothers establishing that new heel stable.
Okay.
And then either way, they can still do Otis and Gable at some point within that. Just have them be on complete opposite ends at that point. And but who knows? That's just my prediction. But I know common sense is telling me that at some point Otis is probably going to turn on him before that happens. But but I could see him running like a full out heel stable.
Yeah.
But we'll see what I'm trying to think who stood tall at the end of this. Was it Gable?
Like when it was all over with?
Yeah. Did he get the better of Sammy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't this a segment then? Yeah. No, he got the better of Sammy. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. But, all right, so what was next?
What was next? The last time that we'll ever see Becky Lynch inside a WWE ring. That's what was next. Next time we see her, she'll be with Rue in the stands, cheering on Seth Rollins because her career's over. Or at least that's what the IWC would want you to think.
No, she's going to wrestle.
I don't think it is over.
She's going to be wrestling across from Mercedes Moné in AEW. You heard it here first.
Here's what you're going to hear first. I can't stand Mercedes Moné, and I liked Sasha Banks. I cannot stand that persona, the CEO. That music is so annoying and bad.
Money.
CEO. And she does this stuff.
Money.
Yeah, not a fan.
Money. I would like to see Becky versus Timeless Tony Storm.
Oh, okay. I'm
Uh,
okay.
I, hey, I can dream book, can't I?
No.
Anyways, the, did you like the match? I thought it was fine.
Yeah, match is fun. I mean,
It
if
was a
you
good
got right
match.
Becky off TV, I'm fine with it.
Oh, the way they wrote her off was a travesty.
I know, but I'm saying, but if you have to, no, it wasn't a
Yes,
travesty.
yes, it was a run in from
No,
Braun chasing JD McDonough. Stop it! That was horrible, and you know it.
it was perfectly
No,
timed.
no,
Great
no,
theater.
no,
Great theater.
no, no. It
She
was
took
not.
a steel door to the head
I know, and even
from
if
a
you're right,
man.
even if you're writing somebody off like that, I guess I just don't understand. Why can't they just have her take a clean loss if she's going to be gone for a while? I understand Liv's a heel, but why can't they just have her take a clean loss? She wasn't supposed to be. The only reason she was the champion, anyways, is because Rhea got hurt.
Yeah,
I don't get that. I don't like that.
because they're
And
trying to re-sign her, Wade. She can't have her take a clean. Hey, we're going to take this clean loss and you're giving the title. No,
she just took one at Mania. What are you talking about?
it's a long time ago.
God,
Long time ago.
I don't know, man. That never made sense to me. And then the stuff that happened afterwards could have happened after the match. It still could have happened after the match. They could have
What?
found a way with the whole door slamming on the head or Dom
Oh,
accidentally
okay.
doing. They could have found another way without and had Liv win clean.
Well, they didn't.
I know they didn't.
And you know what else they didn't do?
What's
They didn't air the Kets on the West Coast. I mean, on the East Coast. That's what they didn't do. Hey,
or Central Time Zone? I
here's one
didn't
of the
see
most.
the end until the next. I recorded it on YouTube TV. I got all the shows set to record there, and they wasn't on Central Time Zone either.
Yeah. Here's the most important thing on our programming. You know what we're not going to do? Show it to you. Interesting strategy. Interesting strategy there, Cotton. But they
He will not be able to see.
they did it, and obviously it wasn't on purpose.
No,
But um, you know, it is what it is. All in all, what do you think of the show?
I don't like how they ended it. It was too silly. It was too silly how they had Becky lose what is, even if she's ultimately re-signing with the company, which regardless, she's going to have one more match. She's not going out like that. And I don't know if I said this before or just between us. The only suitable way for her to go out is for her
Intergender match against Seth Rollins.
well, besides that, that's a 1A for the
for custody
options.
of Rue.
Yeah, I think her final match being nowhere besides WrestleMania, unless
Against Charlotte.
yeah,
That's her swan song.
or Rhea.
Charlotte.
I mean,
She's the biggest name in the
for
history
the
of the
history,
company. Yeah.
for the history, or Bailey. With all the history they all have,
Or both.
or both. Unless they did, if it's not at WrestleMania, a Clash at the Castle or some type of event actually in Ireland would be the only suitable way for her to go out, in my opinion.
Wearing her original main roster ring gear with those stupid goggles.
God.
And the big cape.
Oh, dude. Hey, think of this, though. Could you imagine like yes, like looking like, hey, what was it? A Toad from the first X-Men movie? Remember that with the goggles? Yeah. I would be okay if it's not Charlotte or Bailey or one of the four horsewomen, one of the other four horsewomen. A match in Ireland with her against Valkyria. I'd be okay with that. That'd be good, Lord. Could you imagine that place if they did that match there?
How old is she? Like what?
Who?
What are we, Becky Lynch? Like what are we talking about here?
I think at 35, huh?
Oh, she's 37.
Okay.
Interesting. Seth's 38. Cool.
Yeah, dude. I could see that. I could see her taking a clean loss against Valkyria for her final match because Valkyria's in her 20s, right? She's young.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to be young.
Yeah, she is 27.
Oh, that'd be a perfectly acceptable passing of the torch moment,
Yeah.
regardless of when that'll be. But yeah, I know that's not going to be the last time we see her in a ring because that's completely unacceptable. Dude, that just reminded me the way that was booked reminded me of some silly shenanigans that Vince McMahon would have done,
Mm-hmm.
and it was silly. It was too silly.
It's never too silly.
In this instance, it was.
Never.
I mean, there's other ways to write somebody off of television for a while. But hey, dude, I did like the interaction she had with Valkyria in the locker room. Like you either win or you learn, and doing that whole thing, I liked that. I liked that whole setup. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like in the background because they've been throwing a lot of things in the background lately. Like, you know, you got a little Easter eggs. Like I said, it appeared somebody who fit the build and look of Alexa Bliss wearing the Fiend pants was backstage in gorilla position at one point when Sheamus was leaving, and they showed who just came back and tried to recruit Shayna and Zoe last week.
Deville?
Yes. Sonya, you could see there was a segment where Sonya was in the background talking to Zoe one-on-one. So that recruitment is still ongoing.
Yeah.
But Shayna was not in that segment. So I thought that was, you know, interesting to continue that. But anyways, the wrestling was good. I enjoyed most of it. Loved the Alpha Academy stuff and heel Chad Gable. I'm not okay with the silliness at the end, especially if Becky's going to be written off TV for a while. I don't like that, and obviously you don't either. You're falling asleep again.
No. Wide awake. Wide awake. I might even go run a marathon after this is over with. But before I do that, it's time to dive right into NXT, which had some really just truly objectively bad segments in it, in my opinion. We'll get to each one by one.
I watched this after you, and I didn't think it was as bad as you did, obviously, but we'll get to that. What kicked off the show?
I hated every single backstage segment there was. But what started off the show was Michin, which in and of itself, I hate that name, versus Tatum Paxley. Go back to Mia Yim. Michin's stupid. Anyways, it was for the Women's North American title qualifier.
Dude, this was ludicrous to me.
The booking decision or what?
Yes. I mean, the crowd, the triple threat match with Perez, Valkyria, and Paxley.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the false finishers where it looked like Paxley may win, the crowd was eating it up. They had one of the better vignettes for any wrestler I've seen in a while about her, not just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or a few weeks ago, leading up to that triple threat match. They've had her in the background, like seeing her in the back, like in Ava's office, sneaking around and stuff. And then, and I know what other outlets like whatever. I don't know if I'm calling us an outlet, whatever. The internet outlets saying how, oh, well, Misha didn't come down to NXT to lose. Okay. They've booked plenty of main roster people to come back there and lose, trying to put over newer talent.
Yeah. Why is she any different?
And I was shocked that she took a clean loss when the crowd wants her to win. The crowd loves her there. They love Tatum Paxley. Not that they don't like Mia Yim. I could definitely tell the crowd likes Mia Yim. Or sorry, Misha. But I was genuinely surprised by this. And I don't like Misha's finisher either. At least not the way. At least not the way that it was done on Tuesday. Anyways, I was surprised. That's nothing again. Misha's a good wrestler. I genuinely was shocked that was the result, because I thought Paxley would have been prominently featured in that ladder match. But oh well. The match itself was okay, but just the result to me was baffling.
Yeah. Well, speaking of something baffling, but I'm sure that you really liked it, the next segment was Ridge Holland versus Riley Osborne with Chase Hughes. So,
dude, when is this going to stop, man?
Never. Not until he's NXT champion.
Dude, please don't. Don't even joke about that.
Red Rumors champion.
There's no way. There's no way.
It's called up. Dude, wins all the main roster belts.
Dude, this is just bad. It was bad enough that, dude, they've got. First of all, this whole thing has to stop. These speaking segments with them are horrible. But
2 thumbs up by me.
And Thea Hale's got to get out of that. She's too good.
Yeah.
With her, and I know I'm sounding like a broken record. Shocker. Just minor tweaks. Change her ring gear. Just a little, just the color of it. I mean, and when I say change ring gear, get rid of that Chase U stuff and tone down the over-exaggerated, like, screaming and stuff. I have no problem with her, like, with that over-the-top stuff when she's pumped up after hitting, like, big moves against an opponent. I've got no issues with that. But the other, just the wild and crazy stuff, dude, I think she's ready now. And those are such minor tweaks that can be done very quickly. Just minor stuff that can be done right now. And I'd bet they'll fall back on, oh, she's 20 years old or 22. She's very young, I think. Is she even 21?
I think you had previously told me she was 20, but I don't know.
Okay. Because I think I'm getting her mixed up, because I think Perez is 22 or 24?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think she's younger than her. But dude, I think she's ready. But I hope they realize what they've got, because they're dropping the ball right now with Tatum Paxley.
She's well, Thea Hale is 20.
Okay, Thea Hale's 20. Okay. How old's Tatum Paxley?
12.
What?
I'm kidding. I can't find her age.
I was like, what?
She's 27.
Okay, well. But dude, they've got to. The fact that neither Paxley or Thea Hale made it to that ladder match, I just don't get it, dude. That's just nuts to me. Now, I did not have a problem with Fallon Henley getting in there, but it should not have been. She should not have beat Thea Hale to get there. I think Fallon Henley's either Fallon Henley or Jada Parker's walking away with that belt. I think they're going to put that on a heel.
We shall see.
But I can tell you right now what is going to happen in that ladder match. You're going to see a soul snatcher or soul crusher, whatever that's called, from the top of that ladder. That is, you can write that home.
Whose move?
Soul Ruka.
Okay, yeah. Soul Snatcher.
Okay. I always want to call it the Soul Crusher, but Soul Snatcher. That
she snatches it.
Yeah.
She doesn't just crush it.
But that that move will be seen off of a ladder.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome.
You're probably right.
And I can't wait.
Probably right.
Dude, and she's another one. She's almost ready to, man. I think that had she not missed that time with that knee injury, she may be ready now, but that was I think 6 to 9 months she missed because of that. So, God, dude, and I know that's a good problem to have when you got such a stacked women's division, dude, but I cannot believe that Paxley or Thea Hale are not going to be in that ladder match.
Yeah.
But, anyways, she's way off there. But dude, this stuff with Rich Holland, it has to stop. More. God, do they not hear the negative, the not negative, just the lack of reaction?
They hear me cheering.
Dude, and I just, I don't know, man. And it's got to be Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Dude, and I've happened to read a few articles here within the past few days about just how NXT Black and Gold was like, for a while, they're like the gold standard.
It was better than Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
A lot better.
Yes. And anyways, dude, hopefully at some point it'll possibly get back to that. And who knows, maybe because they're about to switch to the CW. And I'm hoping that's a perfect opportunity to rebrand it back to that.
Yeah, you're right.
I could understand why they're not doing it in the middle right before. That's a good reboot. Do it there, please. And God, please get rid of Rich Holland or at least this arc. I don't mind him as a wrestler. I don't. Just this whole thing with him, it's got to stop. What was next?
It's never stopping.
Oh, you're right.
Gallows and Anderson versus Inoue and Blade. Gallows and Anderson getting the win.
The bad luck continues with that Brindley Reese getting sent back in a stretcher. Oh, that was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though. This is one thing they're doing right. Because that building is going to lose its mind when they finally get a win.
Maybe.
No, it will. It against the right team, that place is going to go nuts, and rightfully so, because this is one of those. It's a tried and true thing. You have a team that are a team of good wrestlers, run of bad luck, and then they finally get the win. You know, that's just a formula that's always worked, and But and the Good Brothers finally, it's official for the Apex. It's going to be the Good Brothers versus Axiom and Frazier for the straps. So should be a good match.
Yeah,
good contrasting styles, but Good Brothers are as pros get, and I know they will sell those moves by Axiom and Fraser because they're great at selling, and it'll be good. I'm looking forward to that match. What was next?
It was Roxanne Perez cutting a promo inside the ring and being shocked to see Jordynne Grace come out,
as I was too.
Yeah,
and I
thought that it was just a one-off at WrestleMania, but it wasn't. It wasn't. She's got at least 3 or 4 more times where she's going to be in WWE television.
Forgive my co-host. He's a little sleepy. He means the Royal Rumble, not WrestleMania, because she did not appear at WrestleMania.
She did not.
Maybe my friend should drink something that, without a shameless plug for our non-sponsor, which I wish they were, maybe he should get a drink that rhymes with Celsius.
LaCroix
Ooh,
gives you energy.
What?
It's just water.
Oh, man.
It's the only thing near me.
Oh, man.
You can have my wife come down here and hit me with a belt. Give me the Chad Gable treatment so that wakes me up.
And that's going to hurt her a lot more than it hurts you.
Anyway, that little Oompa Loompa, Jordan Grace, came out and she gave her little speech with her little voice and set up what's going to be a match between her and Roxanne Perez. She's absolutely jacked to the gills. She's a little meatball, just all the muscles in the world. Reminds me of an even bigger Beth Phoenix. I have seen exactly 0 Jordan Grace one-on-one matches.
I'm with you. I have not either. I believe they just released NXT may have released it.
Yeah, the best of Jordan Grace. I think it's a 4-second clip of her highlights.
I'm gonna have to go and check that out. And
all of her best moves.
And I know we got a lot to cover, but from what we discussed last time, let's talk about this. You have strong opinions on the amount of money she's getting.
Yeah, I don't think that she's going to draw anyone to the product. And for her to be making Roman Reigns money when she's closer to Josh Briggs than she is to Roman Reigns. I mean, it's insane.
I see what you're saying. However, and I'll preface this by saying I understand WWE made the conscious decision to want to bring her in. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you bring somebody in from another company, that's, you're going to be overpaying to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But number 2, if I'm not mistaken, she's got like a 3-match contract. Is that what it is? Okay, she's doing a squash next week. That was established in a backstage segment where you had I think something Taylor, her name's escaping me right now, was wondering why, was griping to Ava about why somebody not with the company jump in line and this and that. And so that match was set up for next week. Mm-hmm. That's match number 1. She's going against Roxanne Perez. That's match number 2. And I'm assuming there's going to be a rematch. And I'm guessing that's 3. With that said, not only are you going to have to pay through the roof to bring somebody in from another company, but especially when said person is the champion and you're going to book them to lose, because Perez is not losing.
She's losing.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
And so, yes, I understand they made the decision, which I do not understand, because NXT women's division is stacked. There's stories there that sell themselves already. They could have already been doing Tatum Paxley versus Roxanne Perez based on the triple threat match and how that ended. That was gift wrap to them with the fans' reaction to that match. They chose to go this way. I'm not saying I would have, if I was doing it, I'd be like, hey, this women's division is stacked. No disrespect to Jordan Grace. If we could work something out and continue doing this, because I've got another prediction about who's coming next from TNA. If they want to do this and have this working relationship, great. I just don't think it was needed. But when you're going to have their champion come in and lose, you're going to have to pay the price to do that.
Yeah.
And that's just, I know they keep saying Roman money, this and that. Well, they're yes, but there's a difference. Roman is not Roman is with this company, and and again, no disrespect to anybody involved, but if you bring in, say you brought in MJF, just as an example, to come in and lose to Cody, you're going to be paying him based on the details of his current contract. You're going to be paying him close to $1 million to come and do that.
Yeah, but people don't care about Jordan Grace. People care about MJF.
But from a business standpoint, you can't for another company that has a current television deal and their own audience and their networks to answer to. You cannot, unless you're going to overpay, you cannot have one of their current champions come to another company. No, and I agree with that. I don't think this was needed based on the talent they have there. I don't know why they're doing this with the women's division. I also don't know why more of the focus is on the NXT men's and women's the women's North American title. I get that, because they're just establishing this belt.
Shiny new thing.
But there is no reason that more of the spotlight essentially should be put, well, maybe not now with what happened at the end of this episode, but until now, since Stand and Deliver, Trick Williams and his title have been pushed to the background.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with a lot of these things they're doing right now, but
nothing.
Anyways, but so yeah, Jordan Grace is fighting next week. So
yeah,
we'll get a glimpse, and if I have time, I will actually try to go and see if I can watch some of her matches in TNA, because I am interested. Because obviously they see something and they like her a lot for them to have featured her in the Royal Rumble to begin with, and then to want to bring her back. So I am curious. So
yeah,
what was next?
Next was Lola Vice versus Ariana Grace. He's got lyrics, folks. He's added lyrics to the song, and they're pretty good. I'm letting you know, I've heard them. They're pretty good.
Oh man, dude. Another thing, going back to Thea Hale. Same thing. Change up the colorful stuff. Me and you have talked about this a few times. She was an MMA fighter. You're right. You asked me if I saw her punch in the bag. Dude, she's great. She is a fighter.
Yeah, and it's clear she's a fighter.
Yes. Put her in dark colors or something not so bright and colorful. Lose the dancing shtick and just have her kick ass.
Yeah, stop twerking, start dancing, put on some different ring attire that's not as colorful. It's just basic blacks and whites and whatever. Just go out there and just roll people.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make her a menace.
And I know that you are not a fan of Ariana Grace like I am. I love that just delusional pageant queen, Miss Proper, and her mouth writing checks her body can't cash kind of a thing. I like that. I like the way she oversells the moves that are done to her. I think she is a great asset to the company. But again, I think she gets the business in terms of the selling the stuff and and that, and she's a pretty girl, and I like her in the ring. Just, again, just little maybe tweaks here and there. NXT, I think it's great. For NXT, I think that gimmick works and it's fine. But
yeah, neither one of these people's gimmicks is going to work in the main
absolutely
roster.
Not. No, but I think they obviously know they've got something in Lola Vice, because number one, they had her main event, Spring Breaking, one of their nights recently. They had her in the
Cringe
first.
When I hear that.
They had her. You don't like Spring Breaking?
No.
They had her and her and Natty being the first women's NXT Underground match.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're having her go against Shayna Baszler at the Apex. Obviously, they know they've got something good in her, and so we'll see. But she won as expected. What was next? Did you like the match? It wasn't a whole lot to it. I know that.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. A lot of times with me and any match that involves a little advice, I just get angry that she exists in her current iteration. But I don't know. I'm sure she'll be fine.
I have no issues with her dancing whatsoever.
You have issues with my dancing?
Oh my gosh. I'm waiting for your wife to walk in right now when you're doing that.
There's no way my wife's awake.
Absurdity of a dance.
Yeah, she was been asleep for hours when we started. But next up is Alexis King versus Dante Chen.
God, I love Alexis King now, dude. At first, I couldn't stand him, but now I love him.
No, he's good.
Yeah.
This other dude's not, but he's good.
I think the other guy is good. It's just I don't like some of the facial expressions and stuff. But again, that is things they can tone down. Things like that, they can.
You can't tone it down.
Yeah,
That's
can.
Who he is.
Yes, they can. But he got another cheap win. But I will say this. I think Lexus King, I think that heel character can work on the main roster. As is.
Yeah, but that's because he's got a little bit of an edge to him that works.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to have some edge, which all these people are all soft on this roster, and they're portraying soft people. I'll tell you what's not going to work. His facial hair, I don't think is going to work on the main roster. That needs to change a little bit. But
hey, I like it. So are they intentionally trying to make him look like old school Jericho?
I don't think so. I think that's the way he looks.
Okay. I mean, just some of the flashy outfits. I know it's like I think it's a not so subtle 80s like rocker kind of a look, and then the rock music too. But
yeah,
but dude, they got to keep that throne. The throne coming in. Booker T loves the dude.
King Booker, of course he does. He loves a good throne.
Oh man, but yeah, who did he fight?
Chen.
Is it Dante Chen? What's his full name?
Yeah, Dante Chen.
Okay. He got another win, a roll-up win, not a definitive win. And then Lexus King was incensed after this and hit the coronation on the exposed flooring afterwards, which with the way that move works, I don't know if that would have any more of an effect, but hey, I love the old school exposed floor, man. There was another match recently that used that. I was like, hey, they need to bring that back a little more often because that's one I always like. The old back body drop on the exposed floor is always a good spot. Yeah. So yeah, but no, that is one character I truly believe would work right now on the main roster.
Yeah, and it was right around this time, though, leaving this topic, that Josh Briggs delivered probably the premiere vignette of 2024, where he promised to find himself. And
I know that excited you.
I saw his face, and I saw one lip go up and the other go down, like he's about to say something. I wanted to kill him and myself because I don't want to hear Josh Briggs say any more words than he has to.
We do not condone violence against anybody. The Golden Squeeze podcast. Oh man. I understand you gotta find your footing in this and that, but at some point they've got to give these good wrestlers managers or advocates, whatever you want to call it. Josh Briggs is a good wrestler. He's a very, very good wrestler. I think he could be, because of his skills, be a good asset on either SmackDown or Raw. But they've got to lose the. I don't really think the biker gimmick is going to work.
No.
Maybe even if they just had him like jeans and boots or something. If they want to like lose the biker vest, I mean, just because they don't really do a lot of that stuff like that on the main roster anymore.
No.
But even if you just had him in like black jeans and like even motorcycle style boots or something, I mean, I think that could work. You know, just a little change, but I could see him. I could see him being part of a group on the main roster that, like, part of a faction that you have a clear mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And just have him go out there and wrestle good big man matches.
Yeah.
All is well. Everybody wins. But I understand it's different, and it's very clear when you have one of the greats on the mic, in my opinion, and William Regal, them not putting him as the mouthpiece of his son's crew that could definitely use a mouthpiece.
Doesn't need a mouthpiece.
Oh, dear God. Capiche?
Doesn't need a mouthpiece. Capiche? All right?
Oh, man.
Doesn't need one.
So we got the Briggs vignette, and time will tell if he will find himself. Maybe
he needs to find himself in a ditch.
And was after that vignette aired, was that when they had the Shawn Spears backstage thing?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, geez. So I'm guessing that may be his next target. We'll see. Holy cow! That ship went up in flames quickly after his debut.
Yeah, but we all knew that was going to happen.
But so what was next?
Next was the main event. We're
missing something.
Well, we're missing a couple of vignettes, but not missing any matches.
No, okay. We have to talk about the Don while we're here. That's mandatory.
Okay. You're right. The Don.
So
those guys are good. Those guys are good.
I've got a gripe.
You have a Don gripe.
Yes. This is the second week in a row
where grievance.
Where the second week in a row where they have not committed a felony offense. Or admitted to a felony offense.
You know of.
But, so they were talking about it, and it seems like the Don is going to not just be satisfied with winning Heritage Cup and want to defend it, and wants to learn all about the catch clause and everything about it, and saying, hey, these guys aren't going to stop. This cup is a part of them. They're going to come for it. They're not going to stop. So we got to beat them at their own game. And then they showed No Quarter Catch Crew like training, and Charlie Dempsey started talking, and then he said, we got to be, what did he say? You got to be more cohesive like them.
Yeah.
And then he
capiche.
Said capiche a few times. Like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? It was silly, and it wasn't as bad as some of the times he's been on the mic.
No, it was bad. It was bad. Stop it. It was bad.
I said as bad as sometimes he's been on the mic.
Fine. Normally it's a 0. This time it was a 0.1 out of 10.
But again, another guy, Charlie Dempsey's a good wrestler. You've got his dad backstage. Use him on the mic.
They only have so many mouthpieces. They can't just have them all be flooded.
They can have it for his son. So yes, the main event, it was
Trick Williams and Javon Evans with Sexy Red versus Gallus. What a misnomer that is. But anyways, Sexy Red came out, and I'm supposed to know who she is. I barely do.
Oh, Booker T lost his mind when she came out. We forgot to touch on this. She unveiled with Ava the North American women's title at the beginning of the show, and was having to wrestle it away from Tatum Paxley before that match.
Which is weird too. That exchange they had where she was trying to get that. We forgot to talk about that. That was weird.
Yeah. And Booker T lost his mind and was very disappointed when she did not twerk towards him.
Yeah.
And
How dare she?
and Vic Joseph had to calm him down. It reminded me of good old JR trying to calm down Jerry Lawler when he saw Sable. It was good. It was good. It was good.
I wish somebody was in my living room helping calm me down when I saw Sable at one time.
See, I think you always liked her more. My personal favorite at that time was Marlena.
Okay.
She was my favorite.
I was a Sable person then. I'm a Sable
of course
person
we
now.
all like Sable, but Marlena was my personal favorite at the time.
Yeah.
Dude, this is another one I didn't understand. You just made a big deal about Gallus coming back, and the tag team portion of Gallus lost clean. They lost clean. They just came back.
Heart and soul of Gallus is Wolfgang. Might not be his name. And without him, they're nothing. And he wasn't wrestling.
Wait, so which two from Gallus wrestled today?
That was the Coffee Brothers.
And is it Joe?
Joe and Mark Coffey.
So, isn't Joe about to be in the triple threat match for the North American title? And they just had him lose clean, or did his brother take the loss?
I don't know who took the pin. I don't.
Surely, with that match coming up, the Joe didn't take the pin.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who took the pin. But what I do know is that somebody after the match showed up who I don't know who they are.
Ethan Page.
and another edition of who he play for. I don't know who he is.
And I will say this, I don't think it's any secret. Me and you both read Bleacher Report, WWE stuff. Maybe I mistook it, and it made it seem to me like, from reading it, that maybe more people there immediately realized who it was, or maybe I just am completely misinterpreting the article. But watching it, now there were definitely some people there who realized immediately who it was. You could tell by their reactions; they genuinely were fully aware of who it was.
All people related to Ethan Page,
but most people did not,
including me.
But with that said, at least you've got a guy who's been involved in some good feuds in AEW, and for all intents and purposes, a very good wrestler, from my understanding. To have now, we have somebody who's going to presumably go against Trick at the Apex. That's this Saturday, isn't it?
It's, for being honest,
or Sunday. Sunday.
Halfway through this, I thought it was today, but only because UFC 301 was yesterday. I thought it was after UFC 301, but
NXT Battleground Sunday. It's a week from today.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing, obviously there's not going to be a whole lot of build to this, but I'm just wondering how they're going to do this. If it's going to be, if the belt's even going to be defended, or if it's going to be, well, no, because they said, I guess they're just going away from the fact that Noam Dar attacked Trick a few weeks ago, and then when he got laid out, because Ethan Page said that he's the one who laid them out from Metaphor. So he owned up to that. So I'm assuming it's going to be Page versus Trick. So again, you hype this guy coming back, and you're going to have him lose his first match. What are they doing? I don't
know.
I don't know, man. But I did enjoy the match, the tag team match. Evans is a good high flyer. I think. I don't know.
He's young.
No, he's young.
He's a teenager.
He's very talented. he's not over with me yet.
He's never gonna be over with me. I don't like his character.
And that's why I was gonna say I was gonna say I don't like his character, but I don't know if it's really established yet, like what it is. But that's fine. He's young. He's
It might just be
talented.
him, but the way he talks like a. I don't know.
When
I don't
they
like the way
said
he
that thing,
talks.
like it's about to be bouncy in here or something, like a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh,
He talks like a kid, and I don't like that at all because I don't understand half of what they're saying. So this is definitely old man punching a cloud type situation for me. I don't understand half of what he's saying. I don't understand like the words that are coming out of his mouth. Therefore, I don't like it.
and maybe with me, it's just I like heels a lot more. I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I think they could very well turn him heel.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. You just put some weight on him before you can become a heel. He just looks all skinny.
Oh yeah, no, he's especially next to Trick, dude. Yeah, you can definitely see the
one's a baby. He looks like an 18-year-old.
But no, he's very talented, and they obviously see something in him, and and I get that, but just he'll grow on me. I bet that he's very talented, very talented. But
and that wraps up episode 24 of the Golden Squeeze podcast. We did it. If you like what you heard and like what you saw, go ahead and hit that bell icon, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Golden Squeeze podcast.
And we'll touch on SmackDown then.